Hi friends, I am here with my Shawlography Clue 3. Wow, I am so excited we've made it here. If you are letting YouTube, just take over what you're watching and you're just letting it run and this is not something you want to see, I just want to grab your attention. Clue 3 of Shawlography will be shown in this video extensively. So if you don't care, great, let's talk about it. But if you're one of those that doesn't want to see they're not really spoilers anymore because the whole thing's finished at this point. Everybody's like, Stephen West has shown the whole thing. It's all the clues are out. But if you're one of those who don't want to see the spoilers until you're done with yours, then that shout out was for you. So, hello. I am having a cozy day at home today. Knit night is tonight at my local yarn shop. I just love Thursdays. It's just so nice to know that I can just sit and knit on whatever I want for 2 hours and talk with other people about knitting stuff. It's just such a niche thing that it is like a breath of fresh air to talk to people who care about the needle size you're using and the fiber you're using and whatever else you're using. It's just really great. So I've got my headband on. I wear this all the time. It's part of my mom uniform most days. And yeah. So anyway, let's dive in. I'm excited to show you. Here we go. Woo! Look at how big it is. It's so big. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Like Owen Wilson. Wow. There are two options for Clue 3 for this section here. I did the brioche option, and guys, I've never done brioche before. So I was pretty darn excited to do it. Brioche is kind of like this reversible, it's not double knitting. See, I thought at first that it was some type of double knitting thing, but it's not. It's different, where you're using a series of slip stitches and yarn overs to create this like reversible situation. So it's this here on the front, and then on the back it's this here, and I wove in an end around there somewhere, so it might look a little messy, but that is part of that was the only part where using minis became an issue, was weaving in ends in brioche. That was rough. I don't think I ever want to do that again. Like, had I known, yeah. Anyway, because y'all know that I've been using my minis for the Shawlography. So I've got my silver lining, and this one is called, I think, Beaujeu. It's like this wine red situation. And then I've got Tupelo honey and cedar, the cedar green. And then I've got this blue, this indigo is the colorway, even though it looks like pretty brilliant there. And then I have Gothic Queen, which is like this tonal purple, but it looks pretty pink in the shawl against those other colors, which the more I look at it, the more I'm okay with it. Yeah. When I started these, so for those of you who are just watching because you want to know about the knit along and you're not really doing it, this up to the I cords is section, or like Clue 1. I was going to say section 1, but it's not. There were 4 sections in Clue 1. Section 1, section 2, section 3, and then the I chords were section 4. And that all was really fun. I enjoyed clue 1 a lot. It was somewhat addictive. And then clue 2 was this slip stitch garter ridges business here, these welts, this mosaic knitting triangles, and these baubles. All of that was clue 2, and clue 2 took me a while to get through. And then clue 3 is this section, and then these crisscross stitches, which I think once I add the border to it, they're just gonna look beautiful, especially with blocking. I've never blocked something this big, guys. It's gonna be interesting. I wonder where I'll put it. So it's fun. It's been a really fun knit. These short rows here, these short row wedges, I wasn't sure about them. Because first we've got, like, there's just a lot of stripage going on here. I like this stripage. There's this stripage. There's this stripage. And then there's this stripage. So the other option for where the brioche section is these mesh eyelets. And I've been seeing people wear theirs, and I guess I know that Stephen West has done other shawls, right, that aren't necessarily schlankets. But I was kind of looking forward to it being a schlanket, and like it's not though. It's not super long. I think with the border it's gonna be like where my elbow is, which is substantial. That's a lot of knitting, you know. And I thought it was gonna be longer. And I think I was set up for that. Number one, some of his shawls are huge and they're beautiful. And number two, I'm in this Discord group for the Shawlography knit along, and it's been really nice because everybody's been showing their progress and their color palettes and everything that, you know, when you're thinking, oh, I'm behind, should I even do this or whatever, and they're like, no matter where you're at, there's still a clue 1 thread happening right now for that group. It's great. And they were really smart and put like different threads for the different clues so that if you didn't want to see stuff, you didn't have to. And in the thread, one of the girls said, oh, there wasn't very much in clue 3. I wonder if there'll be a surprise midweek clue. And I was like, oh, and at the time I was still working on clue 2. And I thought, this is going to be huge. Oh man, I have to like prepare myself for that. It's going to take me a long time to get all this done. But I mean, it did take some perseverance to get through the brioche, because it's, and maybe it's just the way I do it, but it's like a very stretchy situation. In fact, I was thinking about doing like a brioche cuff for a sock. I thought that would be kind of cool, but it's not necessarily like, it's stretchy, but it's not necessarily what's the word, elastic. Does that make sense? Like, I can pull it out really far, but it wouldn't firmly stay on something. So I don't know, maybe not. So these crisscrosses are the last part of the clue 3. And I thought about doing the mesh eyelet section on, like, after this, and then doing another row of these welts in some other color, and then doing the border. But obviously we're at it's pretty wide right now. It's not super long, but it is pretty wide. And to do that, I feel like will take another clue of commitment. And the more I've been thinking about it today, the more I've thought, like, if I just put on the border, would I be satisfied with it, or would I be sad that I didn't make it bigger? But I think I'm going to be okay. I think I might add another row of these welts, and then do the border. I don't think I'm going to do the mesh eyelet thing, because what he has you do is do a 2-color mesh eyelets, which makes another set. It would make a set of horizontal stripes here, and I feel like there's enough striping. I feel like we've had enough striping going on, and the border includes like these diagonal stripes. So I just think it would become, like, right now I think it's fine, and it's one of those where you're like, oh, all of those techniques, wow, that's really pretty. But it has taken me a while to look at it with appreciation altogether. I think each section I look at and I think, ooh, that's pretty. But honestly, I think I would like it even more if I had only done it with 3 colors. That it would be like 2 main colors, and then I like did the little texture parts with a different color on there. I think I would have liked that better, but I do like this, and I really loved doing all the different techniques. But who knows, if I did it in just 2 colors, maybe it would all kind of get lost. Maybe I would be the only one who would know what was happening here. So I am satisfied with this one a lot. I'm going to be way satisfied with it once it's done. I think I'm just going to love it. And I know there have been some people who are like, oh, I will never wear this. This is too weird. I will never wear it. And I get being a process knitter. I get that. I have really loved the process of making this shawl, but I don't understand not being a product knitter in any way. Like, to put this much into something, and like this is like a library of skill, you know, to put this much into something and not and just like put it away or haphazardly give it to someone. I'm like, no. If anything, if after wearing it for a while I decided it wasn't my thing, I would probably make it a wall hanging. Like, that's how much I appreciate the different patterns and everything like that. Because I think that I think if you hung this up, it would be beautiful. It'd be beautiful. Especially if you did it like a sunrise, you know? Like if you did it like this, I think it would look like a sunrise on the wall. And it would be made of fiber. How cool is that? I have hairs in it from my own head. So, clue 4. Yeah, I think I'm going to do another row of welts and then finish it off with clue 4, which is the border. And I have really liked it a lot. There was, what's her? Potter and Bloom, the podcast Potter and Bloom. She's adorable. She's great. You should check her out. I love her. I love her accent. I love just her whole vibe. She's just fun. And she was saying that this part on clue 1 gave her some anxiety because there's just this one stitch in between the I cords. And she was like, this one stitch is what's holding everything together, just this one stitch. And I was like, well, not really. The I cord is gonna be holding, like, it's attached. They're attached. They will hold it together. If for some reason it all gets, like, this one thing gets snagged, then it's still gonna stay together. Like, you'll have some repairing to do, but it'll stay together. And I'm not a person who is a fan of holes in the knitting. Like, like a lace pattern I can get behind, but these big old holes in here, like here, I kind of get what's going on. Like, we're separating sections and stuff. And with the I cords, we're drawing attention to a bit of texture. Totally great. Those were also places where we were increasing stitches. But I think I would have rather done some invisible increasing rather than the holes. But maybe that's what makes it not look as, like, I don't know, crazy stripe, you know, that the holes actually make a separation for the patterns enough that it doesn't look like it's just on top of each other. I wonder if some of you listen to me and are like, does this girl even have an opinion? Like, she's always going back and forth. And I do have an opinion about what I like personally, but I don't think there's anything wrong with the pattern at all. I think it's beautiful. And I think I have learned a lot about myself as a knitter while I've been doing it. Number one, I don't know if seeing Stephen West's shawl, like, after Clue 4 thing, if I would have seen that and done it. I don't know if I would have. I would have thought, wow, that's a lot. But with the mystery knit along, being able to just deal with one section at a time, that was really helpful to me. And I do like it at the end of it. You know, I like my colors that I chose for it, and I don't know that I would have even entertained what different color choices I would have made had I just seen the whole thing and thought, oh, is that a pattern I want to do? You know, I don't think I would have, but I really like it. And I'm glad that I did the mystery knit along, because I was not sure if it was going to be my cup of tea. I'm not someone who super likes surprises. Not one of those people. But I do like this surprise. I do like this one. And I am going to get to work on those welts. I think I'm going to do them in blue. I think. I'm not sure. Because I did the texture pieces here. I did that in the Bougeot, and then the cedar, and then the Bougeot again. And so in my head, I feel like I should do the welts again in the cedar. But I don't have to. I'll probably go to knit night and ask my friends. Ask my friends. I also have my first knitting party that I was invited to on Friday, and it's gonna be fun. There's absolutely no way that I will be able to finish this. In my head, I was like, oh, if I really apply myself on Thursday and Friday, maybe I could finish my Shawlography to wear to the knit party. And then my head was like, are you crazy? You're gonna really apply yourself for 2 days and not get it all the way done, and then you're gonna think you're some type of failure. So how about not doing that? It is entirely possible that I could finish my Musselburgh, though. I don't have time to block anything. Like, it would have to be done today for me to be able to block it and for it to dry before tomorrow. But I don't have to block the Musselburgh before I wear it, right? So that's the end of Clue 3. I it's one of those where you're so close to being done that it's just like palpable. You can feel it, the end approaching. So even last night, I wanted to wear it. So I just put it on with the needles in it and everything. And I have been weaving in my ends as I go. There have been a couple of places where I know that a lot of people aren't a fan of the weave in Steven. I think it's fine. I think it's an okay way to put in your ends. I have always done something kind of similar to the weave in Steven, so it makes sense to me to do that as you go, and then you can just clip them off. I know a lot of people don't like weaving in their ends till it's blocked. That's fine. You can do that too. I really like having it done though. I really like having them just all tucked in so that when I'm done, it's just done. I do that with most of my projects, even socks, things. Usually the only reason I would leave an end out while I'm knitting is because there's not enough to weave it into yet, or it marks my beginning of round, and so it's easier to just keep that there instead of getting some stitch marker at that point. So here we go. Here we go with clue 4. I hope that I can get it done soon to show y'all, because I just want to be able to wear it. I want to be able to wear something that I have knit. Like, I've worn things that I've made before. I was a sewist first, and so I've definitely worn things I've made before, but there's something about wearing something you've knit that just feels a little different. Like the fact that you had to make the fabric that makes the thing that you're wearing is a little more intense. So I should probably take this off now, even though I want to keep it on. But I will take it off and take it to Knit Night and ask for some color recommendations on there. What do you think? If I'm adding a welt thing before the diagonal border, which color do you think I should do it in? I really like this gold, but the crisscrosses are in the gold. And I feel like the one that doesn't have as much of a moment to shine in here is the blue. Maybe also this purple. But I'm okay with the purple being kind of a background thing. I'm okay with that. Yeah, I think I might. What do you think? Blue or green? This blue, or should I do the welts again in green? Because then it would be like red texture, green texture, red texture. Oh, there's the helicopters. And then another green texture thing. As you can tell, I'm super decisive. And I will just, I will make a decision. But I'm not very good with color theory. So I would appreciate your thoughts. And I think with clue 4 also, I'm going to do a scalloped edge. There was a girl who did that, and she just like posted the modifications that she made to the edging. And I think I'm going to do that because I really love all the texture that's going on here. And I think just the straight edge on the outside kind of misses an opportunity to pull in that last moment of texture. So I'm going to be doing that for sure, but a little conflicted on the color for the welts. So long, y'all, and I'll see you probably for a podcast next. I don't think I'm going to get clue 4 done before it's time to do the next podcast. So see you next time.